because the thing that I was struggling with was I'm not smart enough to pull this off. And by believing that, then I didn't try. And as long as I didn't try, I was never going to fail, which of course was the thing I was trying to protect myself from, but I was also never going to succeed.
I was told I would never be nothing. Prayer changes things. I flunked out of school. Prayer changes things. The cool thing about prayer is the one thing that's available to everybody at any given time.
But here's what you can know. You can decide no matter what happens, you can have a great time. If somebody like Viktor Frankl can be locked up in Auschwitz and come out of that and experience finding joy in the middle of Auschwitz.
An army of doubt, fear, failure, fear, of judgment, lack of belief, the voices inside the head. Saying I am not good enough, I am not worthy, I want to do this, but act, and I want to give to those I love. But I can't, I'm not worthy of love, I'll never be able to do this, I am hopeless, I have tried everything, the world is against me. No one believes in me, my life's not worth living, there is no greater pain. That can be inflicted on you than your own internal enemy, your own thoughts. Will cause you more pain than anyone or anything. They can be likened to a terrorist living in your soul, but when you learn to control and direct your mind, you can direct that internal voice to work for you rather than against you.
And so finally what I had to realize was because my behaviors were being dictated by my beliefs, I could not allow myself to believe something even if I was convinced it was true. I couldn't allow myself to believe it because it would stop me from taking the behaviors that would lead me to learning, growing, getting better, and moving forward. And so it's not that easy. Childhood trauma is wicked. It is so pernicious. It gets inside your mind and it won't let go. And depending on how early in childhood, there is a lot of brain development around that trauma. But I'm just saying, one of the things that we're going to have to do outside of therapy is begin to pattern interrupt that, to not allow yourself to repeat those negative stories about yourself.
Do you know that God ain't ever too busy for you? You know that God actually knows who you are? Do you know that God actually created you to converse with him? Do you know that God would actually love to hear from you? Do you know that I like talking to him even when I don't really need nothing? So when I do need something, I don't want to have to introduce myself to him. Listen to me, man. Quit playing with this here. You're not going to make it without God. If you've tried it so far, tell me how that's working out for you.
To only do and believe that which moves you towards your goals. So if loving yourself is going to move you towards your goals, then we're going to do it, even if you don't think that you're worth it. If pushing to grow and get better is going to move you towards your goals, then we're going to do it, even if it doesn't feel like you deserve it. You have to let go of that in order to get to your goals. And now, as long as your goal is exciting and honorable, why would you ever want to do something that holds you back? If you're doing something that elevates yourself and other people, why would you want to stop yourself from doing that, even if you deserve to be punished or whatever it is that you think about yourself because of what happened in the past? It doesn't make sense. Free yourself from that. Allow yourself to contribute to yourself and others. Contribute as big and aggressively as you want, as you possibly can. And by continuing to believe that you're not worth it, you won't be able to do that. You won't be able to turn your potential into skill set. You won't be able to get into that passion loop.
It sucked, don't it? You need God. Don't you think I got here without him. I've needed him every step of the way. If it wasn't for God, I wouldn't even be standing here today. I'm telling you right now, you need God. You need to tell him that you need him. Quit being ashamed about it and worrying about who looking. Go somewhere by yourself today and tell God you need some help. Tell him that you're just tired of trying to figure it out for yourself. He already know you got problems. See, God save anybody. God save me. Now listen to me. You ain't got to like the way I'm saying. Steve, you be cussing now. Okay, cool. I got all that. I got all that. I still shoot dice. I got all that. I drink scotch out of cup straight. I smoke cigars. But guess what? He still saved me. He saved me to be this way. You can't be tripping with my walk with him because my path ain't been like yours.
You get it to work for you by creating a compelling future, a future you will be proud to achieve, proud to live through. You do this by not just having goals, but having meaningful goals that get you excited to wake up every morning. You do this by understanding what your purpose in life really is. What are you doing it up for when you know these things, when you work on yourself daily? You can quiet that voice in your head. You can feel good enough because you are good enough. But it does take a commitment of daily practice to work. on yourself. Cut out something that you spend a lot of time on that does nothing good for your life, and replace it with the daily work on you to empower yourself. Such a life up to win.
Then human beings have a capacity they've undersold themselves on. We think that the outside world determines how we feel. If people have to behave a certain way, if your husband or your wife or your kids or your coworkers or whoever, your boss, has to behave a certain way for you to be happy, and if they don't, you're unhappy, then you're always going to be unhappy, because the more people around you, the more they're going to change that, because they're all human, right? And if you have to be a certain way to be happy, you're going to violate it too. So my invitation is, as great as it is to achieve, more important to enjoy. And if you can enjoy every moment in that state, when you're feeling loving and playful and passionate and curious and awe, you treat other people 100 times better than when you're feeling frustrated, pissed off, overwhelmed, worried, stressed, or feeling sorry for yourself.
You don't have that moment of your day. I don't care if it's 2 hours, 4 hours, where you shut the entire world out. No Twitter, no Facebook, nothing. Your content probably would be stronger if you had that time of isolation, of solitude, where you give yourself a chance to think, you give yourself a chance to go in, and when you go in, you go 120%. And success is accomplishing what you say you're going to accomplish. It's getting done what you say you're going to get done. And let's be honest, if you were to sit back and do a percentage on what you said you were going to do in a time span, how would you grade yourself? If you're saying 70, you're a C. If you're saying 80, you're a B. 90, you're an A. 100%. And so I said, if I could execute every single time. So as I began to look at my life, I realized, and this is for Eric Thomas, if I say I'm going to work out 21 days in a row and nobody knows about it,
well, if somebody says something out loud, it's 10 times more powerful than if they think it. And then as we started to study the data, particularly data that was just reinforced by Christine Korath from Georgetown and Harvard, that negativity is a multiple of 4. It's 7 times more powerful than positivity. So think about that. If I say something out loud, it's 10x. If it's negative, it's 4 to 7 times more powerful. So when I say negative things out loud, it's 40 to 70 times more likely that will happen or cause a result that won't be good for me than if I just didn't say anything. So as we were going into our second year at Alabama, we made a bet. What if we could just get our players to not say stupid things out loud? What if we could just do that, not teach any element of positive thinking, but eliminate conversations about the heat complaining?
You're going to be a better parent, you're going to be a better lover, you're going to be a better business person, you're going to have a better life. So my soliloquy is, decide today and actually say, what if I cut it off? What if I said, I'm not willing to settle and I'm just going to live in a beautiful state? Doesn't mean you won't feel bad. It doesn't mean you won't stay there. You instantly change. That's doable. I believe in energy. I believe in inspiration, because inspired, in spirit, the opposite of that is kind of dead, right? So I believe in being inspired, but I'm a strategist at my core. And, if you're inspired and you run east looking for a sunset, I don't give a damn how enthusiastic you are, how positive you are. It's not going to happen. Right. So I'm a strategist first, but I really do believe that people have got to look at their life and say, as much as I want great strategy, I need a great philosophy of my life that's going to make me fulfilled. If you're fulfilled, like you said, you mentioned earlier, if you were with your friends and you guys weren't succeeding, but you're having a damn good time with this camaraderie, it's still worthwhile.
Nobody knows I'm going to work out for 21 days. I can kind of sneak away with, I'll do 30, I'll do 10, cheat there. But when I call somebody and say, hey, I'm going to work out for 21 days, I need you to hold me accountable. A part of my working out has absolutely nothing to do with working out. It has absolutely nothing to do with my health. It has absolutely nothing to do with me caring about my body. It has everything to do with, I told you I was going to do it, and I don't want you to call me and ask me did I do it, and I have to tell you I didn't do it. So I realized that every man is where he is because when he says he's going to do something, not only does he do it, but he does it in a certain time frame and with a certain quality. And if I have a group of people who can call me every day and say to me, did you say you're going to do that? You say you're going to do that? Listen to me. My first book took me 10 years to finish. And I did not finish my book until a good friend of mine, Stagia, within a span of about a year or two, kept calling me every week and say, did you finish yet?
We are running out of time. What are you going to do with the time you have left? I say that if you don't reposition yourself, you could miss the best time in this season of life. Because we have got to change the way we think, we have got to change the way we function, we have got to change the way we deal with issues. The reason that you have to be in your position, the way you think, the way you function. The way you feel is that we many times are stuck between the lines of limited thinking, limited people, and limited ideas, and limited philosophies. And there's something creative down the side. You say, let there be. You need to walk into our situation where you've been locked up and tied up and tangled up and say, let there be light.